Hello humans, I'm the TheAlienDoctor, but you could call me Alien, and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition beta video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Bedrock Beta 1.18.0.25, all the latest features, bug fixes, and things like that. As always, I won't go through everything, but I'll go through the greater majority of the actual interesting things that it's worth knowing. The reason I don't go through everything, because there seems to be a little bit of confusion about this, is just because there are some things that aren't really worth talking about. Normally I'll go through like really small things that probably people won't notice. However, there are certain things like, for example, changes in the Bedrock Edition behavior pack files that people probably aren't going to be super interested about, so I'll leave that sort of thing out. However, hopefully that clears up the fact that I do miss stuff out of these videos. But anyway, other than that, let's get on with the video. I hope you enjoy it. So something else to point out is that this beta seems to be entirely made up of bug fixes. So the first bug fix isn't really related specifically to 1.18 and has actually been in the game for a while. However, it is actually about loading older worlds and how they would no longer cause chunks to be empty. So there'll be some images on screen right now of what this looked like. Basically, if you would load a really old world into like a newer version or any version that this bug affected, then it would cause some chunks to be empty. So this should no longer happen, which is very nice because I know there are a lot of people that like to keep their worlds for a long period of time or possibly ever, I don't know. So yeah, it's nice now if you had like a world that was like a really old Bedrock Edition world, you can still use it in the new Bedrock Edition versions after 1.18 releases, of course. So a bug has been fixed, which basically caused some music tracks to not be played in the Nether. This bug isn't talking about music like music discs, so it's not talking about things like pig step, it's actually talking about the actual background music. So first of all, if we kill this iron golem because it's being very noisy, there we go. And then we go into our game audio and actually turn up the music tab. And let's just turn down everything else so that you can hear it. You could actually hear right now that music is being played. This is like specific Nether music, because if you don't know, for 1.16, Lena Rain, or however you say their name, sorry if I'm butchering that, made a ton of music for 1.16 and the Nether, so that music will now actually play, and, well, I mean, you could hear right now it is actually playing. It's actually rather loud as well, isn't it? I never really listened to 1.16 music, like I never really heard it because I always play with music off. So this is actually probably the first time I'm hearing it, and it's actually really, really nice. And yeah, it's quite nice to see that this has now actually been added back into the game. A bug fix to do with leaf blocks now. So leaf blocks will remain transparent when surrounded by partial blocks, such as buttons, slabs, or stairs. In previous versions, if leaf blocks were surrounded by these block types, so you can see right here, right now, this leaf is surrounded by stairs. You can see here that it is still transparent. In previous versions, this would make it not be transparent, which is a bit strange. And you can also see here, same thing would happen with slabs and buttons, which is kind of hard to demonstrate because you can't actually place buttons on leaves, which is just weird. But anyway, I know this is a bit of a spiel, but it would look kind of cool if you could, I don't know, put buttons on leaves on trees and stuff. I feel like that could look cool. Maybe not with stone buttons. If you had I don't know, acacia buttons or something, then it could almost look like small apples or berries or something. I don't know, I just think buttons on leaves, I feel like that should be a feature, and I'm not even a builder person, so I guess it's not really up to me. So a bug has been fixed with shields now. So if you are crouching with a shield like I am now, and obviously in Bedrock Edition, shields activate when you crouch. This is because certain devices don't have a shift key, I guess. But anyway, when you're crouching like this, activating your shield, and then open your inventory, you can then remove the shield from your inventory slot, even though you're actually still crouching, which is really interesting. So as you can see here, if we just take the shield out, if we are crouching right now, we then open our inventory, we stop crouching. So I was still holding shift. I'll do it again. So I'm still holding shift. I'm going to press E to open my inventory, and then I stop crouching. However, if I am crouching with the shield, then you can see sometimes... That's weird. So sometimes it keeps me crouching and sometimes it doesn't. That's actually kind of strange. But anyway, if you were still crouching, or if you just open your inventory whilst crouching, you wouldn't be able to remove the shield from your second hand. It would basically stay locked. You wouldn't be able to replace this with something else, like a totem. So now you actually can, which is quite nice. So they fixed a bug to do with double chests splitting up and becoming unusable. So these double chests have been split up in a previous beta, not this beta, but basically what would happen is double chests would split up like they have here, and then you wouldn't be able to open them. Now, obviously, as you can see, we can actually open these chests, but I guess they are single chests. They're not double chests, but they were used to be double chests, but they were made single chests a couple of betas ago because of a bug in that beta. But anyway, basically, the point is, this bug has now been fixed. You can now actually open double chests when updating to 1.18. So this isn't the best example, but it's all I've got in a close proximity. As you can see here, we've got a frozen biome. They will now no longer generate these ice pillars, so I believe that's what it's referring to, these sort of ice pillars. They'll no longer generate these things below y equals 0, so obviously we're at y equals 33. Y equals 0 is like quite far down. It would appear that actually these ones have actually possibly generated below y equals 0. This ice biome was generated in an older beta, so it would make sense if they have. But yeah, basically the point is those ice like spikes will no longer generate below y equals 0, which in this specific example they haven't. Obviously, because this world was generated before this beta, those I guess could have but didn't, if that makes sense. Hopefully that does. What that basically means is that you're not going to find ice like in your caves. So shipwrecks that are obviously meant to be buried, but I guess this specific example they're not, but the shipwrecks that I'm pretty sure are meant to generate under the sea. In fact, you know what? This just occurred to me. Is this meant to always generate under the sea? Because I could kind of understand it generating occasionally on the shoreline. Interesting. Well, anyway, ocean shipwrecks, as well as the actual ocean ruins, which we have some over here. No, that's geode. Well, I can't see any ocean ruins over here, but you probably know what I mean. They are going to generate less often now in the world, so you may want to generate loads in 1.17 before updating to this version if you actually want to get a ton of these for whatever reason. So a change to do with the Azalea Tree now. Azalea trees, so these things right in front of me, will no longer generate underwater. So previously these could generate underwater, and obviously that's not really that normal, so they'll no longer do that. However, they will generate in shallow water, so maybe like when it says shallow, it doesn't say specifically, but maybe like 2, maybe 3 blocks, I would say that's shallow water. Certainly 1 block's like this, which I think is going to look really nice, especially if these things generate in a swamp. I don't know though, that might not look nice. It kind of looks like nice in my head though, so who knows. So they fixed a bug to do with pillars of dripstone. So previously you'd have just massive pillars of dripstone like this, and they'd be a couple of blocks thick, basically generating above the surface instead of in a cave, and they would like show you where dripstone caves are as well, because you'd find one of these naturally generated, or my mock-up. Imagine this is a real one. You'd find something like this, and then you'd just be able to like dig down and you would just find a dripstone cave, which obviously is kind of cheaty, but also kind of cool, I have to say. So yeah, this is no longer going to happen. This will no longer naturally generate in your worlds after this beta. So other than a couple of things that change the game and how storage works on Android, meaning that they basically changed the API version and stuff that I don't fully understand, that is going to be it for today's Minecraft Bedrock Edition beta video. Make sure to press that notification button to get notified as soon as I post another one of these Bedrock beta videos, so you don't miss any of the news. Other than that, thank you ever so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe today to join the Alien Empire. I'll see you in the next video coming soon. Bye.